Great morning and happy Wednesday. Happy Dog Day. Happy Dog Day. It is my dog day. And I thank God for another day that I am here amongst the land of the living. I don't know about anybody else, but I feel like it's been a long week and it's just Wednesday. It's the middle of the week. I thank God for Wednesdays. I thank God for Wednesdays. It is the day that I designate as my dog day is what I call it. It's my Sabbath. It's the middle of the week. I love it because it's the middle of the week. And so I take this time to kind of reset and recalibrate as I am seeking the Lord for um, perhaps what is next, or if I'm taking the day to do nothing, which is doing something, or if I'm taking the day to go to the park, hang out. I don't know, perhaps just run some errands, but it's kind of the day where I unplug. And I've been under the weather kind of since Saturday. I think it's some sinus pressure that I'm dealing with, and it kind of heightened on yesterday. So I'm a little nasally this morning. I started off with a sore throat. Now it's really smack dead in the middle of my head. But nevertheless, I am going to get some rest today. So it is my day along with God. And I wanted to pop through because I started not to come on, but I'm just going to be here for a very, very short while because I wanted to also encourage someone this morning. I have been talking to you all about transition over the last couple of weeks. I have uh, been through, I guess, a process of transition since January, and I'm kind of like sharing some nuggets or sharing some pieces of my story. And so, just to recap a little bit, I started off talking about moving when you hear God say move, and then once you move, move without resentment. Move, in other words, forgetting what's behind you, because what has happened, and there's really not much more that you can do about that. So I talked about moving forward and not looking back, not having any resentments. Then I say you have to refocus. You have to refocus, get clarity while you're on this journey of transition. And what that requires is sitting down, being still, and seeking God and waiting on the Lord. Now, let us not get it confused, because oftentimes people say, I'm waiting on the Lord, and we are required to wait so that we can get direction. But oftentimes, I think people use waiting on the Lord as an excuse to not do what they know that they're supposed to do. And waiting on the Lord is not passive. So while waiting on the Lord, there was also a preparation time. It was also a training time, if you will. And then the last thing I said last week, I talked about adjusting your crown, walking in the authority that God has given to you, walk in your true authenticity in which God has given unto you. So, up to this point, as we recap, refocus, first release to receive, go where you need to go, do what you need to do in order to walk into your new as you're going through this phase of transitioning. Release to receive, refocus your vision, and then adjust your crown. And so today, this morning, really quickly, probably for the next 5 minutes or even less, I just want to encourage you to strengthen your muscles, strengthen your spiritual muscles. And so, what does that mean? According to 1 Timothy 4, chapter 4, verse 7, it says, train yourself to be godly. Train yourself to be godly. So what does that mean? That means that your transition is not so much about what is your next as it is about your preparation. I'm gonna let that sink in. Your transition is not so much about what is next, but it's more or less about preparation. How are you preparing for the journey? How are you preparing as you are in the midst of a I don't want to say doubt, but not knowing, as you are in the midst of not even understanding what it is that is happening to you. So, therefore, there's time now for you to sit at the feet of God, for you to listen for his voice in preparation, for you to heighten your discernment, for you to go deeper in prayer, for you to study his word even the more. Through the transition, there is a stretching. Ooh, there is a stretching. Come on, type it in the chat. There's a stretching, there's a pressing, and there's discipline that is required. Discipline is required, and this is how you build your muscles. In this season or this time of transition for you, there lies great opportunities, but the opportunities are there, and you need to be prepared when they present themselves. So don't resist the training. Don't resist learning new things. Don't resist forgetting about the old things, leaving in the past. So, because again, what has happened has happened. You learn from your past and you keep moving. You keep it moving. You keep it moving. So don't resist the training. Embrace it, because God is preparing you. He's preparing you to carry out something greater. Even as we have entered into the month of June, I believe that June is the beginning of the end. I've said this several times. It's the beginning of the end. So let me clarify that. What that means, it is the last month of the second quarter of the year. So now we are in the beginning of the last month of the second quarter of the year, going into the second half of the year. So it's really a time of pivot. It's a time of reflection. It is a time, again, where you can um, go ahead and do the training, that you can strengthen your spiritual muscles by staying in the Word of God, by praying more diligently, going deeper in your prayer, deeper in your studies, whatever you need to do to make the adjustments. This is the time to do it now. It's never too late. You're never too old. God is still moving, and he's willing. He is willing, and he is able to help us to recalibrate, to refocus, to do whatever we need to do in order to get in alignment with what he has called us to do. So that's all I wanted to tell you today. I wanted to encourage you as I continue to talk to you about transition. So as of today, what we're doing is we're releasing so that we can receive. We're refocusing. We're adjusting our crown. We're adjusting ourselves and walking in true authenticity and the authority that God has given to us. And then we are strengthening our muscles. We're staying diligent. We're strengthening and making sure that we are prepared for what is next. We're preparing for next, but we're also making sure that we're prepared for next. Did that make sense to you? Because the transition or the journey is not so much about what is next, but it's about the preparation. To whom much is given, much is required. So let us be prepared as we continue to journey through the transition. Y'all have a great rest of y'all day, and I will meet you next week here at 8 a.m. for another edition of Dog Day. Blessings.